What if I told you that right now, there's a telescope so massive it can hear a whisper from the edge of the universe? That China landed a spacecraft on the side of the moon that no human has ever seen from Earth and brought rocks back? That 2 Chinese astronauts spent so long floating in space outside their station, they literally lapped the entire planet 6 times before coming back inside? This isn't science fiction. This is happening right now. China's space program has pulled off things so wild, so bold, so flat-out insane that even scientists who've dedicated their lives to this stuff had to stop and ask, how did they do that? In this video, I'll take you through 8 of the most mind-blowing Chinese space inventions on the planet. Buckle up. Number 8. Tiangong Space Station. Here's a fact that doesn't get nearly enough attention. Right now, there are 2 space stations orbiting Earth. One is the International Space Station, built by 16 countries over decades. The other one? China built it alone. Tiangong, which means Heavenly Palace, is China's own space station. It floats about 400 kilometers above your head. Astronauts have lived there permanently since 2021. And while the ISS is aging and scheduled to be retired in the next few years, Tiangong is brand new, fully operational, and ready to keep going for decades. But here's the part that blew people away. In December 2024, 2 of Tiangong's astronauts, Kai Shuzhe and Song Lingdong, stepped outside the station for a spacewalk. That's normal. What's not normal is how long they stayed out there, 9 hours and 6 minutes. That's the longest spacewalk in human history. They beat a record that America had held since 2001. And while they were out there, they circled the entire Earth 6 times in one spacewalk. China didn't just build a space station, they built one that's breaking world records, and they plan to keep it running long after the ISS is gone. Number 7. Chang'e 6. The moon has 2 sides. One faces Earth. We've seen it our whole lives. The other side, the far side, permanently faces away. No telescope from Earth can see it directly. No mission had ever brought back a single rock from it, until China decided to try. In June 2024, the Chang'e 6 mission landed on the far side of the moon, the side that requires a special relay satellite just to communicate, because you can't send a signal directly through the moon. It drilled, it scooped, it collected nearly 2 kilograms of ancient lunar rocks, some of them 4.2 billion years old. Then it launched back off the surface, docked with an orbiter in lunar orbit, completely robotically, with no human hands involved, and carried those samples back to Earth. The whole mission took 53 days. Scientists are still analyzing what's inside those rocks. Early results have already revealed things about the moon's history that nobody expected, including evidence of volcanic activity that rewrites what we thought we knew about how the moon formed. A piece of alien world brought home, and China was the first to do it. Number 6. Fast telescope. Imagine digging a valley the size of 30 football fields, lining it with metal panels, and turning the whole thing into a single telescope. That's basically what China did in the mountains of Guizhou province. FAST, the 500-meter aperture spherical telescope, is the largest single radio telescope on the planet, 500 meters across. It's so big it doesn't move. Instead, 4,450 individual panels shift and tilt to focus on different parts of the sky, controlled by over 2,000 mechanical actuators working in perfect sync. What does it listen for? Everything. Pulsars, the spinning remnants of dead stars, fast radio bursts, mysterious signals from billions of light years away that nobody fully understands yet, hydrogen clouds at the edge of the observable universe, and yes, it's also scanning for signals from alien civilizations. FAST is several times more sensitive than any similar telescope that came before it. Scientists from all over the world line up to use it. It has already discovered hundreds of new pulsars, more than all other telescopes combined in recent years. China built an ear for the planet, and it's listening to the universe. Number 5. Zhurong, China's Mars rover. Here's something most people don't realize. Only 3 countries have ever successfully landed something on Mars that actually worked: the United States, the Soviet Union, and China. In May 2021, China's Tianwen-1 mission dropped a lander and rover onto the surface of Mars on the very first try. The rover was called Zhurong, named after the Chinese god of fire. That alone is extraordinary. Every country that tried this before failed at least once. China got it right on attempt 1. Zhurong rolled across a vast Martian plain called Utopia Planitia, scanning the surface with radar, cameras, and sensors. It found evidence of ancient water. It photographed its own lander from a distance by driving away and pointing its camera back. It sent back stunning images of a rust-red desert world that no rover had ever explored before. China didn't just reach Mars, they did it right. They did it first try, and they're already planning to bring Mars soil back to Earth with a future mission. When that happens, targeting around 2031, it'll be yet another first. Number 4, Tianwen-2. This one sounds like something out of a movie. There's an asteroid orbiting the sun called Kamo-Olewa. It's tiny, only about 40 to 100 meters wide. It follows almost the exact same path around the sun as the Earth. Scientists think it might actually be a fragment of our own moon, blasted into space by an ancient impact billions of years ago. In May 2025, China launched a spacecraft called Tianwen-2 to go get it. The plan: fly to Kamo-Olewa, land, grab a sample, and bring it back to Earth by 2027. Then use Earth's gravity to slingshot the spacecraft toward a comet in the asteroid belt. It'll reach that comet around 2035 and spend years studying it. One spacecraft, 2 targets, an asteroid and a comet, a journey that will last a decade. If China pulls this off, it could answer some of the biggest questions in science. Where did the water on Earth come from? How did life begin? The answers might be locked inside these ancient objects, and China is going after them. Number 3, Beidou, the GPS killer. You probably use GPS every single day. It tells your phone where you are, it guides ships and planes, it runs ATMs and power grids and financial systems. You don't think about it, but GPS is one of the most important technologies on the planet, and it's completely controlled by the United States military. China decided that was a problem, so they built their own. It's called Beidou, named after the Chinese word for the Big Dipper constellation. And it's not just a backup. China now has 45 satellites in the Beidou system, covering the entire globe. More satellites than GPS has. It's more accurate than GPS across large parts of the world, especially in the Asia-Pacific region, where it can pinpoint locations to within centimeters. More than 100 countries use Beidou today. Virtually every phone made in China comes with it built in. Billions of location requests are processed using it every single day. And here's the feature GPS doesn't have. Beidou satellites can send two-way messages. Users can transmit their location and text through the satellite itself with no phone signal needed. That's a capability no other global navigation system offers. When China decided it needed its own version of the most critical navigation system in the world, it didn't wait. It just built one that's arguably better. Number 2, Shenlong. China's secret space plane. China has a secret space plane, and almost nobody is talking about it. It's called Shenlong, Divine Dragon. This is a small unmanned spacecraft that launches on a rocket, orbits the Earth for months at a time, and then lands on a runway on its own, like an airplane. It has now flown 4 missions. Its longest was 276 days in orbit, nearly 9 months. And then, it landed itself, was prepared again, and went back up. The Chinese government releases almost nothing about what it does up there, but independent trackers, amateur astronomers, private space monitoring companies, and the US military have been watching. And what they found is wild. On every single mission, Shenlong has released small objects into space, then maneuvered to fly right alongside them. Rendezvous operations, close approaches. It's testing the ability to approach, inspect, and potentially interfere with other satellites. No other spaceplane in history has done this. Is it for repairs, surveillance, something more? Nobody confirms it, nobody denies it, but every other country in the world is watching Shenlong very carefully, and for good reason. Number 1, the Lunar Research Station, a permanent base on the moon. This one is where things get truly insane. China's plan is to build a permanent research base on the surface of the moon by 2035. Not a temporary camp, not a short mission. A station with power, shelter, and full infrastructure that can support long-term robotic and eventually human operations on the moon. And the details of how they plan to do it are incredible. Chinese scientists are testing 3D printing with moon dust to build structures directly on the surface, so they don't have to ship heavy construction materials from Earth. They're developing systems to extract water ice from permanently shadowed craters near the South Pole, water that astronauts could drink, convert to breathable oxygen, and split into rocket fuel for missions even deeper into space. 13 countries have already signed on to join the project. The whole thing is powered by a combination of solar panels and eventually nuclear generators. China has announced they plan to land astronauts on the moon by 2030, a base operational by 2035. And after that, Mars. This isn't a wish list, it's a timeline. And given everything you've just seen, do you have any reason to doubt they'll follow through? We just covered 8 Chinese space inventions that are reshaping what's possible. Many thought that the space race was over. It never ended. It just got a new competitor. So tell me, which one of these shocked you the most? Which one do you think will change humanity forever? Drop it in the comments. And if you want more content like this, covering the most extraordinary machines and technology coming out of Asia, hit subscribe. We've got a lot more coming. See you in the next one.